Transdermal Celebration. This is a big one, and a whole bunch of people over time have requested this one, including Barry Dillon, among many others. And to all of you who requested it, I thank you very much. I think I finally feel sort of qualified to do it. I think I feel confident to do it because I know it's a popular one and other people have done it. But I figure I can throw my hat in the ring now and do my best to teach it. So of course we start off with sort of toggle between your Diener sort of plays it all more distorted live, but this opening has more of a clean tone with like a phaser effect on and whatnot. And this is like one of the most classic riffs ever, right? And the pitch on the album is basically, it's like F, but so the song's in E, of course, and they play it in E standard, but on the album it's somewhere between a half step and like a quarter step. It's like if you tuned your guitar up a half step or played this with a capo and tried to play it in the key of F, it still wouldn't quite match the record. It's kind of in between there. It's in between E and F. So your guitar would be still a little too sharp. But it's an E. They play it live E. It's an E. So I'm teaching it an E. So this riff... turn off the effects. So we're starting off. Slide up from the second fret of the B to the fourth with an open E. Right? Make sure it rings out. And then second fret open and hit open E for both of those. Right? And then second fret of the G, and you want to hit the open B string and maybe throw in the open E. And for this part, you want to sort of alternate between the G and the B string. But you can hit the higher string above whatever string you need to hit alongside it. Just make sure that you can hit the G and B whenever you hit the G, and you can hit the B and E whenever you hit the B, but you don't want to hit them. You don't want to hit the opposite string, right? You don't want to just hit up all three of them. You want to go or like that. So or right like that. So, and then honestly, this is probably the hardest part of the song for me is getting this. So he's not sliding on the album as far as I'm aware. And when you see him live, he's doing it. Right? So pluck it and then pull off, hammer on, pull off on the G string, first and second fret. I do it with middle finger and pointer. Middle finger and index finger. But it's easier to get the high E open during that part, so you could just do that like that. But I think on the album he's got the open B, and it's tough to have that ringing out like that. So, right? So you can try and just slide it. It makes it a bit easier, but it's kind of tough. So you're going to slide up just like you did with the first part, but it's on the G string with the open B, and so they're going to be in unison, right? And then second fret again with open B, and then open B with first fret of the G, and then open E chord. And sometimes he just hits the G string there on the last note there. And then the verse is going to go a bit heavier, and the chords would be so what he does live, and I'm going to assume he does this on the album, a bar chord A major, and then he's going to move down here and do an A sus2, which is just an open A chord with the top two strings ringing out, and then an open E after that. And when he does the open E, he's going to do that little with your pinky. He's going to be on the second fret of the B. He's going to be throwing that in. So like second open, right? 2-0-2-0. And he's going to do it again. going to go B minor, open A, just a normal open A chord. And then he kind of goes, you can hear him go, he does this live, so he might do it on the album. Right, so 4th fret of the low E and then pull off to the open, just to lead it into the E chord. And then there's another verse. And by the way, when you do this A, and you want to transition to that A sus2, you can sort of hit those top 2 open, because both of those top 2 strings are in the A sus2. So you can sort of hit those in your anticipation of going to that. So a sort of exaggeration of it, but you get it. Sometimes, and he could be doing this on the album, I'll admit, but I don't think he is. If you're just hitting that bar chord and then with those top 2 strings open, you can do that if you want, but it's definitely not doing that live, and I think it makes more sense if he's doing it that way. But so then we get another verse, and then he's going to do this great kind of classic octave riff. Very it was sort of a big thing that was going on in 2000s rock. Not to categorize Ween like that, but it was just kind of a thing going on. But right, so that's so you're just going to hit each of these octaves 3 times. Right, so make sure, of course, that you mute the D string and E strings, because these are octaves on the A and G string. And in case you don't know, it's just whatever you have. You just go 2 frets up and do it on the 2 strings below for an octave. So I'll just say what the fret is for the A string. So that's 7, and then 6, 4, 2, and then he's going to go open. He's going to hit it twice, and you're going to mute the E string with your thumb, or you could just just not hit it, and you're going to mute the D string with the tip of your index finger, like that, and just strum it like that, right? And then he's going to do that thing again where you can pluck the open E, or you could just pull it off like that, whatever. And then he's going to do this kind of weird, funky thing. So you see him do it live. He's got his fingers kind of this D chord position, but he's got it on a first. You're going to do 1st fret of the D string, an open A, and then 2nd fret of the G string, and then if you want to, because he could be doing that on the album, is 2nd fret of the B string. So he's going to be doing. So it's an A chord. This is an A chord. But he's got the 1st fret of the D in there, which would be the sharp 4 or the flat 5. I'll just say sharp 4. He's alternating between that. And you could, if you want, you could just forget about this B string and just do up to the G string and just go. And it was a very good move because the vocal melody is doing that sharp 4, which is very dissonant. Right, so very smart move. And it's going to go E, and he's going to do the 2nd fret of the G for that kind of sus thing. Right, like that kind of rhythm. It's not like that like it was before. It's more like. Right, and then he's going to do it again. And then D. You can play it open like that, which he does a lot, but he also does this from time to time, just bar it up there. Honestly, it doesn't really make a difference. And then there's a solo, and underneath the solo is just another verse rhythm. And then there's another verse after that, another chorus, and then the song ends like the. Great. So lead stuff. There's the lead over the second verse, which is just a really awesome lick. Right, so that's and there's an octave up of this, but the lower octave is definitely more prominent in the mix, and when they do it live, he just kind of does this. So this is on the B string, 4th fret. Sets of 2 hits on there, and then you just want to deaden the string after that, make it very staccato. Don't make it go. Right, so just, and then he's gonna, as Steiner would say, frap into the next note, but I'm just gonna say he's gonna rake across the strings like so. Alright, so he's gonna go. So that's on that same note, but now you're gonna, after you pluck it, hammer on, pull off, and then pluck the 6th fret of the G string, and then repeat that twice. And then after the 3rd time you go. And then you could go down further on the B string to 2nd and then open. But I prefer going on the G string. 6th fret and then 4th down to 2. You can slide down to the 2 or you can pluck them both. Honestly, again. And again, there's an octave up of it, and it's the exact same thing. You're just starting on the 16th fret of the B, and everything else follows the same pattern. Right? So, great stuff there. And then the solo, which is just awesome. I think everyone knows that. And by the way, there's a really cool story. I'm not going to go into it here, but in case you don't know, there's a really cool story of how Diener recorded that guitar solo. I suggest you look it up because it's really cool. Parts that he wanted to get right for the solo. And that's a real mark of a great guitar player and a great songwriter's guitar player is he has all the parts, right? So I just think that's awesome. But if you want more information about that, it's a really cool story. Look it up. So he's going to start very much like the verse lick did. Right? So, and you're not going to go, you're just going, let the notes sustain a lot more. Some vibrato on that G string note, but not a ton. He's not going crazy on the vibrato. And so he's going to go there. He's going to hit that and slide down. And he's going to end up on the 1st fret of the G. And I like to switch my finger as I'm sliding down so I can hit that instead of, because it just flows a bit better. I started sliding down with my middle finger, and you can do it with your ring finger. As long as you kind of get to that, you get to the 2nd fret basically, and then you pluck the 1st fret with your index finger, right? So, and then he's going to go the octave up. Hit it twice and let it sustain. Again, some vibrato. That's what he's going to do. He's going to go this 4th of the high E. You can pluck all these notes, or you can just do the hammer on. You can just pull them off. He's definitely plucking any of them that are on a fret, but any of the open ones he could very well just be pulling off. I actually like how it sounds when you pluck all of them. But that's it, right? So it's going to end on him going to pulling off to the open. And then he's going to go up to the next phrase, but just So it's actually going to start up here. He's going to slide up. It's tricky to get that slide, but you're going to slide up. He's going to use a bit more vibrato as he gets up here, but again, he's not really going to go insane with the vibrato. Very smart playing from him. It's just sort of a fairly subtle increase in overall vibrato as he goes up here. So everything up to that note is actually the exact same. It's just the octave up, right? And then that's when things change. He's going to go... He's going to pick it and then pluck it and then pluck it again, go up half a step, bring it back down and pluck it again. Right? And then he's going to go... So that's 14 to 15. Back to 14 and then 15 on the B. And then he kind of slides down from there. So 14 on the B to 15, back to 14, then 14 on the G and B, G then B, then back to G, and then I think he might hit the open B string in between those. That's what I hear. Right, so, and then he's gonna go this really great ending section. So really great vibrato here. He's gonna go. So he's just gonna pluck it once. Half step bend up, right? So. And then he's going to do a full step bend here on 16 of the G. Same pattern. And then he's going to go up to 19 on the B. Again, same pattern as that G note, G string note. And then, so 17 on the B, and then 18, 16 on the G. He's gonna slide down there, pull off and then hammer on. Sorry, don't hammer on, pluck that. Pull off and then pluck. Slide up there, and then for the longest time I thought he was going, but he's actually on the album, you can hear him go 15. So 15B to 17, and then 16 to 17, back to 16, and then hit the 17 of the B and slide down, and that's the end of the solo. So just a fantastic solo and a fantastic song. Thank you very much for watching and learning. Hope you had fun with this one, and just have a great day. See you later.